coming in. Okay, so everything is recording. Welcome, welcome friends. Welcome Instagram, welcome YouTube, welcome to all of the people. I'm so pumped for today, okay? And I'll tell you why, because like real life vulnerability here. Yesterday I sat down, like last week was absolute chaos in my life. Chaos, because my kids were home all week from school and like trying to do anything was just, like my energy was off because I was like, oh my God, please don't interrupt me. Please don't interrupt me, like on all my sessions that I had. And then in the times when I didn't have sessions, it was just a gong show of like, what are we going to do today? So here we are. This is it. Welcome to those of you who are joining me. Thank you for being here. Today, we are all talking about resistance versus allowing and the power of connecting to resistance, because resistance can be a very important tool to learn how to use. It's not all bad, friends, I promise. And yes, I'm drinking from my dog's face today because coffee makes me happy. And that's one thing we're going to talk about. So hello, Jenny Lay. Gong, legit. It's a gong show, my life, but I love it. I embrace it. I'm like the queen of chaos. Organized chaos. So when I used to teach, I called myself a chaos coordinator because let's be real, I taught tiny humans. Hello, I don't know who you are in real life, but please, Wolf202, thank you for joining me on Instagram. I'm so happy you're here. So let's get right to it. So this is so powerful to me, and I'll tell you why. I have actually been in a state of resistance, and this is why I'm so passionate about sharing it in this moment, because like, I'm just going to pull everything back, right? Like that, this is who I am. I don't try to hide anything. I don't pretend to be something I'm not. Like, I'm human. I go through the same shit that I preach about all the time. So like, welcome to life. Anybody who says they don't, they're lying to your face, just FYI. So resistance, what does it mean? What does resistance mean? It means that we're stuck energetically, emotionally, physically. Somehow we are stuck. We are stuck in life. And it usually comes about when we're thinking about some kind of change, right? So, you know, whether that's a change in your business, whether it's a change in your physical life, whether it's a change in your emotional state, maybe you're changing relationships, maybe it's an intimate relationship, maybe it's a friendship. But when we think about bringing forth change in our life, that's usually when resistance comes in, and it's like, not today, friends. We're going to stay in our comfort zone today. That's what's going to happen today. So our ego comes in, and, you know, there's a place for ego, like your ego self. And, you know, I love my ego self because it tries to keep me safe. It tries to keep things predictable so that I don't get overwhelmed. And it definitely has its place, but like, not when we're looking to manifest something. And, you know, connecting to this resistance and like, allowing resistance to like ebb and flow and like let go of things so that you can be in this state of allowing, so that your intentions can come into like life, right? Taking it from a desired state into a reality state. You have to be able to like work with your resistance and your ego and say like, you don't belong in this one, friend. There's something bigger. So when we feel resistance, like I said, it can show up like emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, creatively, like all of these things, right? And please don't mind me, like I have to take notes because my brain is like a squirrel. Otherwise, I won't stay on track. I will go on a tangent. 45 minutes later, I'll still be rambling about nothing. So bear with me if I look down. So I want to give you some like symptoms. All right. So like if you were to connect to your resistance and you're thinking about what does that look like in terms of physical, it usually shows up as discomfort of some sort. So when we ignore things in our body, like energetically, it will show up a lot of times as like a physical ailment. So think about like, where are you feeling pain in your body? I would almost guarantee you that it would link to some chakra being blocked in your body. So there's usually discomfort. There's usually like a level of exhaustion, being tired, being lethargic. Like, I just want to lay on the couch. I don't feel like fucking doing anything. Like, get out of my face. No, you can't have that right now. Mommy is sleeping. Like, fend for yourself, whatever that looks like. It doesn't matter, right? But like, change usually requires us to show up with some kind of extra effort, whether it's energy, whether it's physically showing up and like moving spaces. If you're like relocating to a different office or you're relocating to a different house, like it involves energy, physical energy, brain power, which is really draining also, right? Like we think about, you know, when you overthink, you're exhausted all the time. Well, no wonder, because your brain is working overtime. That's physical energy that's being expelled, having to constantly have the hamster on the wheel running in circles. Emotionally or spiritually, it can be draining. You might feel well, like I said, you will have this, like, it feels like an internal struggle between your higher self and your ego self, or your intuition and your logical mind, like however you want to describe that for yourself. But it usually feels like this battle. And that's usually because you're battling the element of like fear and doubt, right? Like, I don't know if I could make this happen. Oh my God. And which then of course, like links into your limiting beliefs, or maybe not limiting beliefs of some sort, but like it all kind of like stems together, right? And like emotionally, you might start like having these feelings surface. You might get triggered easily. You might ignore those feelings. And the more you bury them, or the more you don't allow them to be felt, the harder it is to process it. And the longer you stay in the state of resistance, right? So a lot of times, in my experience anyway, resistance is more like energetic. So when I can't manifest something, it's because energetically I'm blocking myself somehow. It's not usually a physical thing for me, but I know it can be a physical thing for others, which is why I wanted to share. Pardon me. So like I said, resistance is a big blocker when you're manifesting. And it's a lot of times because you no longer vibrate with your intention. Right? So like when we get into this idea of like, this is what I want to bring to life, this is what I want to have happen in my reality, it's great. Sometimes you can dream big. Sometimes you can like, visualize it. You can picture yourself like seeing, whether it's you want to take a trip, you can see yourself on the beach, or you can see yourself on this excursion, or like you can see yourself in the new house that you want, or you can see yourself being in this job. But then you come out of that dream state, you come back into reality, and then your logical mind's like, oh crap, like how are we gonna actually make that happen? And then you get stuck in that cycle of how, which kind of pulls you down, right? It pulls your energy down, because ultimately now you are taking full responsibility for making it happen. When, like manifesting is all about a little bit of real life magic. And when we take ownership of 100% of how that's going to work, it takes that little bit of magic out of it. And like, I mean, that's where the fun lies, my friends. So, like I said, it can be belief related or habit related. So this could be like when we think about self-sabotaging, a lot of time that's a behavior, right? So like we might not show up to our accountability calls. We might, if we're trying to lose weight, we might start slacking off at the gym. We might, convince ourselves belief wise that like, oh, I don't have that certificate done. I'm not quite qualified for that new job yet. Or who the hell is going to buy this from me as an entrepreneur, right? Like, so when you're thinking about offers, it's like, okay, but like, who am I, right? And so all of these thoughts start trickling in, and it's like, but who are you? You're freaking right. Who are you? Like, own your shit, own your power. And so it's amazing when we can shift from this place of like, energetic belief and like confidence, self-belief, self-confidence. When you can shift and stay in that state, I tell you, the doors swing wide open. So how do we do it? How do we shift? How do we can recognize this like state of resistance? That's great. So how do we move from a state of resistance into a state of allowing? So I've picked out 7 things. I'm going to try and rattle these off as quickly as I can, not to take up a boatload of your time, but it's super important. And the first step, as always, like I preach from the mountains every day, every week, every month, I'm going to keep saying it. The first step is awareness. So it doesn't matter if you are physically feeling things, if you're emotionally feeling things, if you're spiritually feeling things, like you need to become aware of what you're feeling. So like scan your body, whether that is like you're mentally scanning your body, whether you're physically like logically thinking about, okay, like what hurts? What could that be linked to? Ask yourself these questions, but then you need to trust like the answers that you hear. And it's okay if you hear answers. My mom always said like, it's okay if you hear yourself talk, just it'll be a problem when you get answers, but it's not. That's actually the most beautiful thing that you could do, is validate yourself with answers, because 9 times out of 10, that's your higher self trying to talk to you, right? So take a moment, do a mental scan, do an emotional scan, whatever that looks like, and think about like, where are your thoughts focusing lately? Okay. Because I bet you they're focusing on exactly what you don't want. They're probably focusing on like, I have no idea how I'm going to make that happen. Why is money not flowing to me? Why am I not seeing this? Why is that blah, 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 right? And so when we constantly put ourselves in that place where we allow our mind to be in the state of focusing on the why, or the what if, or the how can I, or whatever those statements are to you, that's where your energy is flowing. And that's not where the magic happens, like I said. So focus on what your thoughts are. Hello, Leslie, welcome. Then So once you become aware of that, once you become aware of where you're feeling things in your body or where your thoughts are lying, focus on what feels good. Because like I said, 9 times out of 10, I can imagine you're going to be focusing on things that are like the lower vibrational stuff. How do I make it happen? Why is this not working? I'm trying and trying and trying and nothing is moving forward, right? So when you get into that state, you need to just stop, cut yourself off, be like, not today, Satan. We're not playing this game 1 second longer because it's not working for me, obviously, right? The abundance is not flowing. And when I say abundance, it's not necessarily just financial abundance. It can be emotional abundance. It can be, abundance in the form of relationships. It can be any kind of abundance that's showing up for you, right? So instead, stop, say not today, shift your focus. Do something that makes you friggin' happy. I don't care what that is. If it means that you sit in front of your TV and you color a picture for 2 hours, then do that. If it means that you go outside and hike a mountain, then do that. If it means like that you're like the psychopath that likes to get up at 6 a.m. and go for a run, do that. I love you. I'm just teasing. But like, seriously, you guys are a whole other breed that can get out of bed at like ungodly hours of the morning and like exercise. So focus on whatever makes you happy, because that, when you are in that place physically, emotionally, spiritually, and you're feeling this joy, you're feeling relaxed. That's the key word, my friends. You're relaxed. You're not in a state of stress where these like hormones are running through your body. I am talking about you, Michelle. I love you to pieces, but you are a psychopath. The faster that resistance is going to kind of start to trickle away, because when you're in this place of joy, like, you can't be in a place of joy and struggle simultaneously. It's one or the other. And so if you lift yourself, pick yourself up and put yourself somewhere else where you're feeling just that state of relaxation and joy, happiness, abundance, fulfillment, whatever the word is that makes you like just tick in a good way, like put yourself there. So like case in point, like hot pink nails, hot pink and glitter, because I had a couple of rough days. So what did I do yesterday? Absolutely friggin' nothing. That's what I did. I hung out with my daughter. I had a session, which was great, like an energy clearing session, which sometimes are draining for me, but like it was fantastic, honestly. Did that, did a little bit of self-care. And then my daughter and I had a girls' day, and it was perfect. We went out and we had some fun. We jumped, we went to a trampoline park, we expelled some energy. We like got our bodies moving, because that is the first step in shifting anything, is to move your body. Like have a dance party, doesn't matter what it is, but like do something that moves your body, go out. So we did that. Then we went and got some stuff at the store, just typical grocery stuff, but we made it fun. It was like a scavenger hunt. Okay. And then we came home and we had a spa day. We did the face masks. I probably still have stuff stuck in my eyebrows, to be honest, but we did the face mask. We painted our nails, and I'm like, F this, like I need a bit of like sunshine in my life. So like hot pink reminds me of summer, which makes me happy. So like, here we go. And like for any, I mean, I know you didn't see me yesterday or the day before that, but like, I know you can feel my energy today. I know you can. I can feel my energy. And it's like, it's high, it's like up there, it's going, like, this is it. This is, I am now shifted. I am no longer in this place of like, oh my God, poor me, why is it not working? I'm in this place of like, hell yeah, like, let's go. I'm so excited for this week. Monday has never felt better. I love Mondays. Also because I do this every Monday. I'm up at 4 a.m. meditating and the gym at 5:30. I love, yeah. Okay, Janice, I love you, but you are also a psychopath. You fall into that category for me, but cheers, because like you guys inspire me. I wish I could do that. My body is not built that way, but I wish I could. I love you for being able to do that. And like, honestly, meditating. So like thank God my kids are back to school today. And like Michelle messaged me this morning, like, happy Monday, glad your kids are back at school. At least I hope they are. And I was like, yes, they are. So like, I spent the first hour of my day journaling and connecting and like doing all of these things. And like, that's what fuels me. But when there's kids around, that makes it difficult. And sometimes I have to adjust my schedule, and then I'm not set up the same way as I normally would when I have time and space to do it. So like, mamas, I feel you. For any of you that have kids home all the time, if you have littles home, like I get it's hard. This isn't always a reality, right? But I'm going to talk to that in a minute. So for me today, after I'm done, I have a pile of client sessions today, which I'm so excited about, because connecting with like all of you beautiful women is like my favorite thing in the world to do. Honestly, it is. But when I'm done, my plan is to like, okay, well, like what is going to put me in this place of feeling good? what is going to be something for me that makes me feel good? So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing today. I'm going to focus on human design. So tell me in the comments, what are you going to do today? What's one thing that you can do today for you, either something you've already done or something that you plan on doing that's also going to put you in this place of like feeling amazing, focusing on what feels good and like leaving the rest behind, allowing yourself the time and space, allowing, see, keyword, I'm using this throughout. You're allowing yourself the time and space to just be with yourself and be in a state of joy. So tell me, I want to know. And spoiler alert, I'm just going to throw this out there. If there's something that you desire, it's probably something that's part of your purpose. Just saying. So, but a lot of times, the things that you desire, the things that bring you this joy, you know, this place of like being in a place where doing things that make you happy. Like for me, like, I mean, I'm 42, but I love to color. I love to color and I don't do it a lot, but like coloring to me is a creative outlet. And like allowing myself this time to be creative, or like painting, like paint nights jazz me up. I love it. But I don't like to be responsible to come up with the ideas. Like I want somebody to guide me and tell me how to do it. That's what makes me happy. I can pick my own colors. I can maybe tweak the design a little bit. I can do that sort of thing. Like that puts me in a place where I feel creatively like expressed. And so it's the same with this idea of human design, like immersing myself in learning about human design makes me feel creatively expressed because I'm learning about who I am at a core level. Also, in turn, it's going to help my clients the more that I learn about it. So it's like this ripple effect, right? Which is often what happens. But we have to, you know, it's on us. It's on us. We have to make ourselves a priority. We have to make ourselves have time for this space to be in a place where we can be ridiculously happy. So think about that. Let me know in the comments what it is that yours would be. What would you be doing that makes you feel ridiculously happy? And then, you know, as a second thought, you can think, okay, well, like, this is perfect. This is what I'm going to do today, but where else do I feel heavy? Where else do I feel heavy where I maybe need to spend some time and really think about like, what am I resisting in this area of my life? Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, ask your subconscious for help. You guys, you are a wealth of knowledge that's already instinctively inside of you, but you need to tap into that. You need to ask for it. I'll say this again, like it's the same thing when you're trying to connect in any form or fashion, whether it's to spirit, whether it's to yourself, whether it's to others, you have to like communicate. There is no relationship on the face of this planet that works without some kind of like strong communication patterns, right? So when you think about that, when you think about your physical relationships, why do marriages break down? Money and lack of communication. Top 2 reasons why people get divorced, because nobody wants to talk about money and nobody wants to talk about their feelings because it's fucking hard, right? So ask your subconscious for help. You have to be willing to put yourself out there and say, I can't do it all. I don't know what's next. Please help me. And a lot of times your subconscious will talk to you like through your dreams, right? Because that's in a state where you're feeling relaxed. Your logical mind's not going to be overworked and underpaid. And so your body's kind of in this state of relaxation or rest already. So if you set your attention before bed and say, hey, listen, self, I really need some guidance with fill in the blank, whatever that looks like for you. I would really love you to provide me with some guidance in the form of a dream or in the form of a message or in the form of whatever ideas when I wake up in the morning. But this is what I would really like. And then you need to trust. You need to trust what shows up. That's the biggest next step that needs to be paired with this. So you can ask for help, but then you have to trust the feeling, the idea, the sign, whatever it is that shows up for you. Trust that that is meant for you, because the more you question it, it's like, okay, well, you're asking for help and I'm giving it to you and you're not listening. You're not listening, right? So you need to listen along with asking for help. Number 4, commit to feeling good. And I sort of already talked about this. I said, like, do something for yourself that puts you in this energetic state. But I cannot reiterate this enough. The more you allow yourself to do things that make you feel good, like, and I am talking that like raise your vibration kind of feeling good, right? So like have a dance party, go out for coffee with your girlfriend that makes you feel happy, you know, call your mom and talk to her, journal, meditate, work out, like it doesn't matter what it is, go for a walk, whatever tickles your fancy, do that. But you have to commit to yourself. You have to commit to yourself more than like one time, because shifts don't happen by giving yourself 5 minutes. Okay. think about that for a minute. And I'm just, because I'm a mom, I always use mom examples, but like when your kid is having a really big feeling, right? So maybe they are like wound up tighter than a tick. You can't just give them 30 seconds of attention and have it diffuse. They need ongoing support, right? So you may have to have an initial like co-regulation time where you sit and you listen and you hug, or you like support, or you like maybe have to give them a little kick in the pants, like whatever it is that like, excuse me, works for your child. You have to do that. But then throughout the day, a lot of times you have to give reminders. You have to remind them, remember how we wanted to like feel today, right? Teach your kids how to set intentions. And like I used to do that with my class all the time. Like everybody would check in the morning, myself included. Okay, where are we at right now? How do I feel in this moment? How do I want to feel today? How do I want my day to go? What do I want it to look like? How do I want people to treat me today? Whatever it is that's going to spark that conversation for you guys. But like, it's never too young to start teaching them, because this is empowerment at its finest. No better time to start than when they're 5 and 6 years old, right? Or younger. Little kids can do it too. So committing to yourself, being in this place of like, I'm going to be in this place where I'm going to raise my vibration. That is exactly what's going to happen. Okay, so this is where I said we're going to hit reality here. What happens when you're in a 9 to 5? You have to be there. Maybe you don't want to be there. Maybe you like parts of your job, but you don't like all of it, right? So you're in this 9 to 5, you have to go to work every day. That might be the trigger that's pulling down your vibration. So how can you fix that? Well, you can't just quit your job, because like, hello, reality and financial responsibilities, like you need to pay for things, right? So if you're in a place where like, I don't want to say you loathe going to work, but like if there's aspects of your job that you just loathe and you don't really want to be a part of, then like put yourself in places of the things that light you up when you're at work. So like stay around the people that light you up. If your office sucks, go work. Like if you have the capability to like go work at a lunch table, or go like sit outside on a bench if it's nice out, like move yourself, put yourself in a surrounding that's going to make you feel amazing. Because the more you can do that, and the more you can stay in that vibration when you're in this place of like, oh, I have to be here, then the easier it is to continue to like live in that space. So for any of you that have moms at home, like this is exactly what we did last week. Like when things started to feel heavy, or when things started to feel hard, we stopped and we shifted. We went outside and we went to the park. On the days that it were too cold, we went to an indoor play park, because I was like, F this noise. Like we are not going down this path today where everybody's fighting and mom's just got to put on her referee jersey and like get on everybody's case. I don't feel like doing that today, because that pulls me down. So like shift yourself. Do things that you can in the moment. If it's something that you want to do, if you want to be journaling, like I did this last week with my kids too. Like, did I start the day off that way? No, because like kids need to be fed as soon as they get out of bed. So I didn't have the availability to just come to my desk and start doing what I needed to do. I had to like look after them first. So we would feed them. I would get their stuff going. I would get coffee made. I would have breakfast. And then we would sit down. The kids colored. Riley did some reading and I did some journaling, and it happened closer to like 10 o'clock in the morning, but like, you know, it works. It's not the same start to the day, but it works. So you can like peel things in that work for you. Okay. But the biggest thing is that you need to commit to yourself, because that's important. Okay. Sorry. Just let me see. Yeah, I've said all the rest of it. So I'll leave it at that. Number 5, don't be afraid to face your feelings or your fears. And for some of us, this can be really hard, because our state of feeling or our fear is actually like how we associate with our personality. So like, do any of you worry? Like, do you consider yourself a worrywart? Like, oh, like this is who I am. I worry about everything. If you can say yes to that, like that's ingrained in your personality. So how do you then pull that away? Like if you pull away the worry, if you pull away the person who has to be worried about everything, then who are you at your core? I don't know, right? I don't know. So then it becomes difficult to actually separate yourself from it, because then you're going to worry about who you are, right? And it's just this vicious cycle of staying in this place of worry, which is not where abundance lives. I can tell you that for free. So if you find that it's hard, like and a lot of times, like if we're this person who associates being a worrywart, we're kind of living in our ego self a little bit more than our higher self, right? So people that are living more in a higher self, they find it easy to like be able to dream. They find it easy to be able to like change. They find it easy to be able to take risks, because they're not stuck on, oh my God, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to predict the future. I don't have any control over that. Right. Like, they're people that can like release control a lot easier. And this is a scale. You can learn to be like that. You can absolutely learn to get there, but not all of us are there to start with. Right. And so what's the best way to kind of overcome this? We'll regroup. Like I said, like, check back in with yourself, face your feelings and your fears, face those worries, write them down and be like, okay, is this something logical that I need to be worried about? Or is this like an irrational fear that I'm like just living in? Right. And then make an empowering statement that will help you move through that fear. So like, I wrote down an example here to give you a concrete thing. So if you want to lose weight, okay, because I mean, like, everyone wants to lose weight at some point or other in their life, right? But when we think of losing weight, we think of, oh my God, people are going to judge me because I'm going to be eating salads all the time. Or if you're going on vacation and like, people are having some like alcoholic drinks, maybe you don't drink alcohol, or maybe you cut alcohol out because it contains lots of sugar and carbs and everything else, and you don't want that in your diet anymore. So like, you then enters the feelings of like fear of judgment, fear of failure, perhaps like, oh, lack of willpower, like I'm not going to be able to do it, like all of this thing, right? So create a empowering statement for yourself and like make it become your mantra. So for example, you can say, I only need to please myself and make decisions that I feel are right for me. Being bullied by coworkers, bang on, Leslie, like 100%. It's that like, I say judgment, but that's exactly what it is. It's like, oh, come on, like one little brownie is not going to hurt you, right? And then you have to rely on your own willpower to like overcome that. So I only need to please myself and make decisions I feel right are right for me. When I'm healthier, I'm happier. And that will strengthen every single connection around me. So you can create an empowering statement. And every time these people come in and try to like push your buttons and be like, come on, you want to come join us for a drink, or come have a snack in the staff room, or, like your husband at night. Oh, you can have some chips with me. You can have a snack with me. That's not good. You worked out today. It's okay. Right. But like, what they don't realize is that like, yeah, maybe they're joking or maybe they're being silly, but like, that's 100%. Like, you get it from all these different places. And like, eventually sometimes we crack under pressure. That's human, right? Sometimes we can't live up to the expectations that we put for ourselves. So having this empowering statement is just a way for you to like check back in, which is like leads nicely into my next number 6, is reconnect with your intention. So when you connect with this empowering statement, connect with your intention. Like, why did you want this in the first place? Okay. Why are you losing weight? Is it for you or is it for someone else? Because if it's for someone else, yeah, it's probably not aligned with your values or your goals or anything else, right? You should always do things for yourself. So I'm going to give you another one. Gay Hendricks wrote a book called The Big Leap, and he wrote a statement in here that I absolutely love. This is something that, like, I don't say it religiously, but I say it when I need to say it. So we'll just leave it at that. I expand in abundance, success, and love every day as I inspire those around me to do the same. So this is a really great thing. Like, when we think about connecting back to our intuitions, or our intention, sorry, like, a lot of times, like, especially for myself in this business, like, my ultimate goal is to inspire and empower other people. Like, that's what I want. That is my mission in this business. But like, at the heart of it, like, I'm doing it for me too, because I want to live an empowered life. I want my kids to live an empowered life. Like, I want to be in a place where I am not limited by beliefs, by fear, by anything. I want to recognize and like live in the place where my like, my big picture is. I know that that can happen. I know that that is available to me, but it's my logical mind that sometimes continues to block it, right? So the more that I do this work, the more it benefits me, but it's this ripple effect, the more it benefits everybody else, right? So, and it's okay to have like selfish intentions. It's okay to want money for yourself. It's okay to want to have a business that is successful so that you can provide for your family. That is okay. And in addition to that, it's okay that there's a ripple effect that then helps other people. It's okay to be selfish as long as your intentions are genuine. And like, I can tell you mine are 100% genuine, right? So after repeating that a few times, then reconnect with your initial intention and see, are you aligned? Are you aligned with it? Because I can tell you that, like, you know, when you're thinking about that future version of you, of like, what does my future self want? What do I want for a job? What do I want to do? What do I want in my life that's going to bring me joy and fulfillment and purpose? Like, what does that look like? I can tell you, you're not connecting necessarily with how you're going to make your money, right? That goes out the window. You don't worry about the how, you don't worry about the dollar amount necessarily. You don't worry about like, you know, what that looks like or how you're going to get there when you dream. When you allow yourself to dream and you put yourself in this like future self of like, what am I going to bring in? Anchor back into that 5-year-old self and dream big and say like, what do I want to be today? Who do I want to spend my time with? How do I want to feel? What do I want that to look like? None of these like lower vibrational energies of like how or should or any of that comes into play, because you're allowing yourself the space and time to dream and like be in that intention of what you would like your life to look like. And the more you can do that, that is how you energetically align to that outcome, right? So I promise it works. So then number 7, last but not least, like I said before, you have to block out your time, right? Creativity, and my friend Kendra said this, creativity cannot coexist in a perfectionist mindset. And my friends, that's such a true story. And I'm going to continue preaching that because that just really hit home for me. And perfectionist mindset isn't necessarily one where you are a perfectionist, but it may be one where you're like constantly overthinking things, or you're constantly worrying about things, or like you're bringing in like that need, the ultimate need for control of like, how am I going to make this happen? I don't know how to make it work, all the rest of it. When you're in that place, magic cannot happen. And like when I talk about magic, I'm talking about that, like, you know, connecting to those universal laws, connecting to the universal energy, allowing yourself to know inherently already, you don't have to do anything to be a part of this natural cycle of abundance. We are born abundant. We are born whole. We are born worthy. It's the conditioning and the limitations that we put on ourselves or that other people put on us that draws us back from that state of already being a part of that, right? And so the more you can let some of this other stuff go, the more you can energetically align to that place of being back in that natural state of abundance and knowing that you're capable and willing and like have a place there, right? It's your natural God-given gift to be a part of that abundance. Some of us need some accountability in doing that though. And so number 7, I put block out time to allow yourself to be in this and allow a little bit of that, like, you know, natural magic to be part of it. But some of us also need the accountability because some of us have a harder time staying in that place, right? And so this is where 100% why, you know, like a mentor, a coach, whatever, or even a friend, it doesn't have to be something that you pay for, but like find somebody who aligns with your same values, find somebody who's aligned with the same idea of like fulfillment and purpose and wants that for themselves. And it doesn't mean that your dreams have to match. It just means that both of you want to be there and both of you are committing to like, you know, invest in yourself, however that looks like, whether it's just an energetic investment, whether it's a financial investment, whether it's a spiritual investment, it doesn't matter what that looks like. But you're both investing to get to that place. You can be accountability buddies for each other, right? But like that changes it, friends. That flips the script because somebody else is going to help us stay in that place where we want to get to. And it is okay to ask for help. We are not wired as humans to do things in isolation. That's why the panty was so hard for us, because we all were stuck inside, separated physically from the people that we love the most and all the rest of it. So we are not wired to live in isolation and to do things in isolation. We are wired as humans to be a part of a community. So ask your community for help. If you do not have the finances available to you to hire a mentor to pay and like guide you through the process, then ask your community for help and say, reach out, like post in the tribe. Say, this is what I want to pull in. Who wants to join me on the accountability? This is why I'm running the 6-week group program that I'm starting today. Today, friends, we're starting. Our first call is on Thursday, so there is still time to get in. Plug. I'll throw that out there. But this is why, because a community of people is a game changer. It is a game changer. Also why I continue to like, you know, commit to things myself for my own personal growth and development. So that was a long one. I appreciate those of you who stuck with me. And for any of you that missed the first part, today was all talking about the power of resistance and then also shifting into the power of allowing. So this is great when you're trying to manifest something. It's great when you just feel stuck. Maybe you're not trying to manifest anything, but maybe you just feel stuck in life somehow. So use these 7 ways, 7 tips, whatever you want to call them, to try and work through where you feel stuck. But you are your best indicator. And the more that you can tune in to yourself, the more you can validate yourself, the more you learn to trust yourself, the more unstoppable you're going to be. So I'll leave you with that. Cheers to Monday. Cheers to this week. Cheers to the new beginning that a new month is bringing in tomorrow. I'm so grateful to you guys for being here with me. And I absolutely love the connection that we have. So I only cannot wait to see where it grows from here. So enjoy the rest of your week. I'll catch you again soon. Love you guys.